another episode of the Terrinique Show. I am so happy that you guys decided to join us for yet another episode. Please like, follow, and subscribe. We are the Terrinique Show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you are on YouTube, please press the like button. Give us a thumbs up if you are enjoying our content so far. It really helps us grow our following on YouTube, and we would be so happy if you would help us do that. On today's episode of the Terrinique Show, we are going to be talking about how to tell if your hair is heat damaged. So what happens when you get your hair blown out or you get a nice flat iron look because you want to, switch it up a bit, and, natural hair is versatile. So sometimes, you're like, I don't want to wear my curls anymore. I want a straight look. Maybe you're going on vacation. Maybe it's a special occasion and you just want to look different. So you decide that you're going to get your hair blown out and flat ironed. But then after a while, you discover that I washed my hair a few times and it's not looking how it looked before. So what is happening there? What is happening to the hair? And can it return back to its natural state if it is heat damage? That's a good question. So what happens when the hair gets heat damaged is the structure of the hair changes. So you would feel that your hair maybe feel a bit more rough than it would usually feel, or your hair looks limp, the curls aren't curling like they used to. That's because heat actually changed the structure of your hair. So we know that hair contains protein, and if protein is exposed to excessive heat, the structure changes. This is a process called denaturation. So when your hair is exposed to a lot of heat, so serious heat, the actual cuticles of the hair change. And what happens when that cuticle structure changes is the hair, where it used to curl, it now becomes straight. So if your hair becomes straight, then that means that it won't turn back to its natural curl pattern because the structure has been permanently changed through a process called denaturation. Like with high porosity hair, if you think about what high porosity hair actually means, is that the cuticles of the hair, they're kind of like shingles on a roof, right? Where on a new roof, the shingles will lay flat on the roof. But if you have excessive force winds, or say if a hurricane comes, you see that the shingles, they are moved upwards, or some even fall off. It's the same way with the cuticle of your hair. When you have high porosity hair, or if you have heat damaged hair or really damaged hair, the shingles, they are not laying flat anymore, but they are kind of like ruffled or moving upwards. And what happens is moisture easily comes into the cuticle and is easily released. It's the same thing what happens when your hair is heat damaged. So moisture can easily come into the hair strand and easily be released from the hair strand. So when that happens, there are a number of things that you can do to help with the heat damage. But if you are wearing your hair naturally curly and you have heat damage and the hair is straight, the only solution to that is to eventually just keep trimming the hair until all the heat damaged hair has been removed, right? You cannot reverse heat damage once it's done. There are things that you can do to help the hair to become, more healthy, but in terms of curling, it will not curl back. It's kind of like if you have naturally curly hair and you decide that you're going to get a relaxer. We know that if you get a relaxer, the hair that is relaxed will not turn back curly. It will stay straight. The same thing with heat damage. If your hair is heat damaged, so it's not curling anymore, it's straight, it will stay straight, it will not curl back because it is damaged. The structure of the hair strand has been changed. So let's dive a little deeper into what it looks like when you have heat damage. So number one is your hair, the curls don't bounce and they look limp. And you would know that you have heat damage because, hey, you just got a blowout or you just flat iron your hair and it's been maybe 3 washes, you've done 3 shampoos and your hair just hasn't turned back to its natural curl pattern, then most likely you are dealing with heat damage and your curls are limp and they don't bounce like they used to. Also, your curls feel funny, like the texture feels rough. Your hair just doesn't feel how it used to before. It just feels differently. It also, thirdly, it looks dull and dry. So when the cuticle of the hair is disturbed and it's not laying flat, that's what gives your hair the flat cuticles give your hair a shine. When the cuticles do not lay flat, that helps your hair to look dull and dry. So that is a telltale sign that you have heat damage. Also, it's more shedding than normal. So your hair, it looks rough, it feels rough, it looks dry and damaged, and you're just getting more shed hairs than normal. This is because the hair is really damaged, so it's starting to split and break more easily because it is heat damage. It's not retaining moisture like it used to. The moisture is coming in and it's leaving right out. So your hair is severely damaged, so it starts to shed more and break more. Also, your hair has lost its elasticity and its shrinkage. So it doesn't shrink like it used to. Shrinkage is a sign of healthy hair, but because your hair is heat damaged, there are parts of it that is straight and then there are parts of it that is shrunken. So the parts that are still straight, when you've washed your hair and conditioned it, those parts are damaged. So 5 ways to tell that your hair is heat damaged. Number 1, your curls do not bounce like they used to. They have lost their bounce and they look limp. Number 2, your hair feels rough, funny in texture. Number 3, your hair looks dull and dry. It just doesn't shine like it used to. And number 4, your hair is shedding. It's shedding more than it normally would shed. And number 5, your hair doesn't shrink. Shrinkage isn't there anymore, and it has lost its elasticity. These are the signs that your hair has heat damage, and the only way to stop the damage from further moving up the strand is to get trims. You can also incorporate protein treatments into your hair regimen to strengthen the hair, and sometimes if the damage isn't so bad, you will see that the hair starts to curl again. But if your hair doesn't start to curl again, then that's a telltale sign that your hair is too damaged and you're gonna have to trim it off. So protein treatments are a good option for helping with the heat damage. Also, doing a pre-poo every time you wash your hair. So what the pre-poo does is it creates a layer on top of the hair so that when you do your shampoos, the water is easily absorbed into the hair, but it's also harder for that same moisture to leave the hair strand. So if your hair is heat damaged, every time you do a wash, you wanna use an oil blend to do a pre-poo. After you've done your shampooing, then you want to use a leave-in conditioner along with a curl defining cream, and you want to seal again with an oil. This will essentially help the moisture to stay in, and hopefully your curls will bounce back. Your protein deep treatment, you want to do that every 3 weeks. So you want to do it at least once a month. You don't want to get too heavy on the protein, because if you get too heavy on the protein, your hair will be dry and stiff and it will break. So you want to incorporate a protein treatment into your hair regimen. If you see that your hair is still straight and it's not bouncing back, you want to gradually trim off the ends. Every time you do a wash, you want to use a pre-poo so that you can seal in the moisture and provide your hair from becoming more damaged and more dry. These are just 3 things that you can do to help with the health of your hair. Even though it is damaged from heat, this will help. So trimming the hair every so often, using a protein deep treatment once a month, and also every time you wash, doing a pre-poo. I hope that this information was helpful to you, and if it was helpful to you, please click the thumbs up button. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We are the Terrinique Show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Everywhere, the Terrinique Show. Have a great day.